Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the ADOS podcast. I'm your host, Christian. Elijah's still going through some things. He'll be with us shortly, so everyone still keep him in prayers and keep supporting us. Today, we got a very juicy conversation that I am really excited to get into. So if you remember, we had a guest from the past, Mari Brown, who's also my fiance, getting married soon. And then we also have another guest with us today, Darren.
Yes, sir.
And Darren is going to be sharing some perspectives that he have on, relationships. So we're going to get into it today of talk about relationships. So I'm just going to open it up and I'm just going to say, Darren, what's on your mind?
Man, well, thank you guys for letting me come on. This was kind of last minute, just kind of, some off the whim thing, man. So it was dope that you guys allowed me to come. Mm-hmm. I'd say what's on my mind is, you guys are a black couple getting ready to get married. Mm-hmm. I am a black man. I'm from the hood. I'm from West Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? And
Shout out to the East Coast. I'm from Maryland.
Oh, okay. We Maryland babies. Okay, that's what's up.
Go Terps.
Yep. We get into that later. But
yep.
Okay. So you know how the inner cities of Baltimore are.
Yes.
And with that coming is the trauma of that environment that goes both my parents, that goes my whole family line, even including to myself. So I left, I went to college, I'm educated. I'm one of those guys who I don't look like what I've been through. So I do have relationships with white women. Mm-hmm. But when I'm in those relationships, I feel like something is missing. You know what I'm saying? Now, I went to Morgan State. That's in East Baltimore. That's an HBCU,
Yep.
So I've dated plenty. It's not like I'm I only date white women or only date. I really don't have a preference, but I'm in the Midwest. I'm an articulate black man. You know what I'm saying? I'm a business owner. So, I attract all types of women, but as of lately, I've been attracting a lot more white women. Mm-hmm. And Gabe and I were talking about the quality of women and the type of substance that it takes for a man to want to consider a woman his wife. And, I don't think I'm technically ready to be a husband yet. I know I want to be one day. I have a very pessimistic view of relationships right now and just of the whole world and where we are, the extreme feminist movement, the extreme MGTOW and Kevin Samuel shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's very extreme. And I understand the extremes, but I'm trying to be somewhere in the middle because that's where logical people think is somewhere in the middle, And so, Gabe and I were just talking. I was telling him how I had a woman in my past who is an amazing woman. She's white. She's educated. She's freaky as hell. She's cultured. You know what I'm saying? She ain't she cool. But as a black man, even though you have this substance of a woman, regardless, you're still she's white. And it's not coming from a racist place. It's coming from just a realistic place, It's
let me get in there. It's coming from experience,
Mm-hmm.
And I am a believer that people should love who they love and like who they like. That's completely fine. Now, is that for me? No, apparently not.
Mm-hmm.
But where you're coming from is culture. With her upbringing and your upbringing, it's just completely different upbringings.
Straight up.
Our encounters with police, her encounters with police are completely different encounters. So those are some of the things that we have to keep in mind. And I'm not a relationship expert by any means. I don't have a degree in psychology, but I guess in a way it goes into relationships. But really what I say is yeah, and I feel like you being honest with yourself actually in this moment, she has potential to, we could family, be married, whatever the case may be. She has those potential qualities. But this disconnect, I can feel it.
Mm-hmm.
I can feel it when we're holding hands in the mall. I can feel it when people who are just like you when you were younger are staring at you in the mall, be intimate with your partner. You see what I'm getting at?
Mm-hmm.
So it is hard because you have to figure out a way of, if something goes wrong with me that's pertaining to my community, i.e., all the stuff that we've witnessed over the past 2 years in the state of Minnesota and then some, how is she going to respond to that when I'm breaking down to her at the most vulnerable state I'm at as a black man? And I think that's something you have to consider. And Mari looks like she's thinking, so I want to hear what from the woman perspective, what do you have to say?
I mean, so I teach. I'm a teacher. I teach in Lakeville, and I am the only Black teacher in my building. And I'm one of 5 Black teachers in the entire district. And it's lonely. And that's just, as you were talking, that's something I was thinking about, just being the only one and how lonely that was. But even going before that, I grew up here. I'm from Minnesota, from the suburbs. And I'm used to being kind of the only one, right? Like K-12, it got more diverse as the years went on, but I was typically the only Black kid in my class. And I remember going to college and being like, I want someone that understands what I'm dealing with. Do you know what I mean? I want someone that understands when I say I'm lonely, how deep that goes. You know what I mean? And I've never dated outside of my race, but I still felt loneliness with people within my race too. Do you know what I mean? And
Facts.
So, yeah, that's just something I'm thinking about too. Like yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I don't know if I'm making sense, but I've only dated people that look like me, but have still found that loneliness there too. And so I feel the culture piece. I think that's a big thing. But there's also just qualities in people that aren't always in the people that share the same race with you too. So that's kind of what was on my mind.
And it's crazy because like you can, like you said, you can feel that indifference. You can feel it. And it's like, it makes, as a non-racist Black person, it makes me, or I don't even want to say non-racist. I want to, what's the word?
Anti-racist?
As a Black person, period.
Yeah. As a Black person who's dating outside of their race, I know some amazing white people on this planet, like amazing, some of the best people I know, like literally. And then it's like, they try their best to understand. They really do. You know, like the white people who are really like just for the people, for humanity, you know what I'm saying? They really do understand. I don't, you know, but the thought questions my mind, like, I'm very pro-Black. Well, let me ask you guys this question, because there's a lot of Black people that disagree with this. I think you can be pro-Black and still date out of your race, but it's going to bring an uncomfortable friction in your relationship. It's like, say if I got a white girlfriend at home, bro, my podcast, if another cop kills another Black man, I'm going to speak on my shit on a podcast. I make music. I'm going to speak my frustration of being a Black man in America. And it's like, damn, my girl's white. Or like, damn, like, you know, and it's just kind of like, you know, it's tough, man. It's tough.
No, it's a slippery slope. And, one thing I'm thinking about is I think because, and we talked about this off air too, just a little bit, and I'm not going to go too far that way because I want to focus on a relationship. But when we're talking about political correctness, you know, for people who are Black and want people to be for Black and by Black, somewhat of the conversation we're having out there, they tend to challenge credibility of people who are not with their own people. And I think that becomes the problem, and a little bit of what we were getting at offline of that whole disconnect shouldn't have to be a disconnect because we're going against the wrong people here. So when we're focusing on all this crap that shouldn't even be conversations, we're missing the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is people should not challenge who you are and what you fight for and what you believe in, because you are that no matter who you date, no matter who you love, no matter who you choose to be vulnerable with. Because the message of who you are, and this goes back to the whole identity thing too, of knowing where you come from, who you are, of African descent, of American descendants, of slavery, ADOS. If you know that and you're by that and you're rooted in that, no matter what you decide to do, the people will follow you. Because that message is way more power in that message than people could imagine. And that's the piece of that. I think that's the missing key of understanding that, yeah, you could date outside your race and still be this powerful influencer for your community because you are part of that community. The problem is we have people say, oh, well, you don't like Black women, you don't like Black men.
Mm-hmm.
you're not with our community.
Right.
And
it creates more divide. Yeah. And it's, oh God, it's the worst, bro. It's the worst. And it puts me in such a tough situation because I'm open to date, bro. I think them gothic joints with the tattoos, they be sexy as hell sometimes, bro. I like who I like, bro. You know what I'm saying? I was in Arizona like last week, bro. I mean, not last week, like last month, bro. I met the baddest gothic joint, bro. Tattoos everywhere. It looked like she was the spawn of Satan, bro. But like, she was sexy. And I'm like, imagine if I was to date her, bro, I would be looked at completely crazy. And I mean, obviously, part of my own podcast is about, being real and authentic with yourself and, just embracing who you are. Mm-hmm. But, so that's just a point of growth. But it's like, I hate that, bro. Like, I hate that.
Yeah. And this is why it's tough, because we go back to that need. It's not a need that you're craving per se, but it's just a need you would like to have there when a situation or a circumstance presents itself, i.e. cops kneeling on someone's neck, i.e. cops killing kids. So I think when it comes to relating to some of these, unfortunate acts, that's what we really need. So if we could find someone who understands that and someone who's willing to, be with you and just listen. Like, not say nothing, especially if they're not in the community. Like, don't say nothing. Just sit this one out. Be there for me. Let's talk. If you have questions and you need me to go deeper, I could break it down for you. And I think we need to have more of those conversations. But I want to pivot just a little and go back to the relationship piece, because that's what Mari was talking about. Mm-hmm. What we're talking about it's a completely different battle, but it is definitely with interpersonal relationships. But what I want to say is qualities in people do matter. A lot like yourself, Darren. I'm from the East Coast, Maryland. I spent a little bit of time in Virginia. All I saw was white women. I had attraction for white women, love white women, only wanted to date white women at one point in my life. And I didn't realize how racist I was being to my mom, my grandmother, my aunties, my sisters, excluding them, saying that I don't want to date that. And part of that is, a lot of it is systemic, systemically brainwashed, commercials, advertisement, media, whatever the case may be. A lot of it is where I live at. All I see is this. All I see is Becky's with good hairs when I go to the store, when I go to school, whatever the case may be. And another piece of it is some of the black women who I were around at the time, I lost attraction for because some of their actions, sometimes it's just the way they spoke, and I didn't really understand it. They were like, they used to tell me, "Oh, you're not from Washington D.C. because you don't sound like us," or anything like that. And I was like, well, I don't want to sound like y'all. Honestly, I don't want to be here. I got
that too. The Baltimore accent is real distinct.
It is.
I got it strong. A little bit, but like, I moved out of the city, so my accent went away. So like, I always got that. Like, people who know me, they know what's good with me.
Oh, but, we get you mad enough. We'll hear.
Right.
We'll hear.
Yeah. But I used to hear that. Like, when I moved in and out of Baltimore, like when I moved back to Baltimore, I went to North Carolina for a little minute. So I came back, I had a little down south twang to me. So like, it's like, I always been too hood for the white people and not hood enough for the black people type shit. Yeah.
And you're adapting too.
Right.
Environments adapt.
Right.
But let me go back to this point of, when I realized what I was doing, I was like, wow, that's really racist, to
your own people.
To my own people. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't want to be that guy. Like, it was to the point I did not want to date any black women or young ladies, whatever the case may be, and until I met the one, and part of that was me being open. And it's like, all right, once I understand, and I'm still learning about who I am, but once I have a grasp of who I am, I look for these qualities, no matter really who the person is. If these qualities came up, it's just so happened that the love of my life is a black woman who happened to be bilingual, which is also awesome. But before Mari, I had a lot of time to myself. I think I've been single before I met you, let's see, 3.5 years, maybe 4.
That's dope.
So I had a lot of time to say, I'm going to enjoy single life. And I'm not one to party or anything, but just be out there like, oh, I could date anybody I want.
Yeah.
You know, that was a decent feeling. And then my life started to speed up and I became a little bit more successful. And I was like, wow, this came quick and I need somebody to share this with. And that's why I was like, I think I need a companion. I don't want a pet. I want a relationship. You know, I want somebody
some real shit,
to
like,
witness this growth and to grow with me, and then hopefully we can grow with each other. And I think it's been a journey. And honey, you could talk more about this, but when we met, I wasn't driving, and she used to pick me up, and she paid for our first date. And those are like some cool qualities that I loved. I was like, "You're a keeper. You're a keeper. keeper." But yeah, I want. That's exactly what I thought. But I want to know more about like you before me, just a little bit, so we can get.
Okay, I mean, like I said, Apple Valley. I don't think I said Apple Valley. I grew up in Apple Valley, very white, and kind of similar to Christian. I just knew I don't want a white dude. And now that you think of, like, I don't know that it's racist or whatever. Well, okay. It was, but like as a kid, that's not what I'm thinking. Oh my God, this is racist. It's just like, that's all I saw. And I was just like, I'm not really interested in this. And then it was like around high school, college, and I was like, okay, like there's guys that look like me. This is great. And like I've always dated within my race, but like it was never what I needed. It was what I needed at the time, I think, because I had to grow up and learn from it. Like I'm grateful for the relationships that I had and the experiences that I've been through.
Yeah.
But just similar to how you felt, like this is not it. Like this is not a forever kind of thing. And by the time I met Christian, to download a dating app, something I would never do. Like my friends actually set it up. It was before Tinder was like a hookup, whatever. Like it was a year Tinder came out, like, and it was just like, find a friend. And I was like, I just want a friend. Like I'm so done with like the relationship I was in before Christian. I mean, it was long distance. He was in South Carolina, in and out of jail. I was paying for that. On drugs. It was just, it's not what it was. Yeah. He never called me by my name. I was always called out of my name. And I thought, like, this is normal. This is as good as it's going to get. And, you know, by the time I ended that, I was just like, I deserve better. And I don't know what better is, but I want a friend. And so my friend made this Tinder app. And I'm trying to figure out how it works. So I didn't even have a bio. Nothing on, now I know like how it should work because I see my sisters using it, but like no bio, just a picture of myself. But Christian had a whole freaking novel on his. But I was just like, he looks really nice, you know, he looks really nice. And like, yeah, we matched. We went to a movie and maybe it's Minnesota nice. I don't know. I paid for it. But like,
not complaining.
He tried to. I came and picked him up, and he held the door when we got to the movies. He held the door open for me, and I remember walking away from the door he was holding open and opening my own and going in it because not used to any guys holding the door open for me. The dude before Christian that I was with, I mean, it'd be great if he got dressed. You know what I mean? So like the fact that Christian's in a suit at the movies is like a whole nother. This is how he dresses all the time, in a suit all the time. So
wow, I was gonna ask you, like, damn, bro, you really
every day. This
all
is daily.
The time. My joke is your wedding suit better have some fucking glitter or something on it, something I've never seen.
You're gonna have to come crazy on that wedding,
it's gonna be crazy.
Thank you.
You're gonna have to come crazy.
But a suit, he held the door open, he's calling me by my name, telling me I'm beautiful, like all this stuff. And like, I shut that shit down for a while. I was like, I just want to be a friend. I friend zoned him for a while. At one point, he tried to take it serious. I was like, nope, I'm good.
I asked her out. She said no.
I was like, no. Like, he has to put a label on it.
So that's why you were willing to pay, because it was on some friend shit? Because I was going to ask you, how did you feel, you know, as a man? Like, I mean, you can call it male pride or whatever, but like...
Man pride.
Yeah, I just like... I wasn't raised by my dad, and so I didn't always have a provider. I have a provider like mindset now. I didn't always. I developed a provider mindset in the last 2 years, and so you know, so now I'm all about, you know, paying, making. If she wants to have her money or whatever, do your thing, but like I'm gonna make sure it's good. So just quickly, like, what is your opinion on that? Like going out to a date with a woman and you're not being. What's your opinion on men dating when they're not financially stable?
Well, so I don't know how, although I progressed over the past 5 years we've been together. She always made more than me, technically. Yeah, in a way. And I think you're right. It's you just have to put that man pride aside, you know, because one thing I'm thinking about, and I didn't think about this when we were early on, you know, when she told me no, I could have been like, you know, screw her. Like, it's whatever now. But I was like, okay, what you doing Friday? Like, let's work towards this. And then eventually I wore her down and she came back and asked me out. And I was like, no, I said yes. I said yes. But when she was ready, you know, she approached me. But what I would say to that is, it was like, you know, if this could help your situation, like as a man, put the dominance down. Stop trying to be the provider. Like, and honestly, this is something that we're still working on because of her previous relationships and how strong and independent she is. We do have power struggles sometimes, and that's something we're still trying to navigate, like currently. Like, but that's why we talk to counselors and go through all that. But sometimes I'm just like, no one to step away and be like, you do it, you got it. You know, I don't need to carry these boxes because you got it. I'm not gonna baby you. Sometimes she don't like that because it's like, no, you're an independent black woman, you got it, go ahead, do it. But what I'm saying is, it does take a certain type of characteristic, and I think that's why you're asking me this, because some people, it's hard for them to not feel needed. And at times, as a black man dating a strong black woman, there's been times I did not feel needed. It was like, you know, I know you can do this to yourself, but how about asking me, you know, just because, you know, I just want to feel like, not like you need me, but like, just feel like that, you know, there's an emotional connection there where it's like, although you may not need me in this situation, you could always come to me. Which is
something I literally, sorry, I mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
Something I am still learning to this day how to do, because all I've dated is weak black men who needed me to be strong to carry the relationship. Do you know what I mean? And like, that's not the case with Christian. And like, there have been times where he's just gotten in my face like, I know you don't need me. I know that. But
sit down and let me pay for your dinner, girl.
Right. Like,
that's exactly how it is.
But like, let me care for you too, just like you do for me. I mean, when I paid for those movie tickets on the first date and he found out, he was shocked. And then he was like, "Kay, I'm going to pay for all the snacks." You know what I mean? Like, it was like,
and I didn't have money. I was broke. Like, all I had
did not know that.
She wasn't going to know that.
I was like 3 years in that I knew that I found out that like he
that wasn't for you to
didn't
know.
have it.
Yeah, I was literally broke. I think I had enough for one box of popcorn, and I bought that popcorn, and I had to make it to like the next 2 weeks to my next check. But she wouldn't have known that. Like,
no, I didn't know.
Hey,
that.
Good thing you got a wife out of that.
Nothing less from that. But no, you're right, because it's just, I'm just gonna say, as men, I don't want to say there's like this power, control, and dominance, but there is. I hate to put that label on it, but there is, and that's why that falls into insecurity actually too. Yeah. And I'm not I have insecurities in other fashions, but it's not like, oh, you know, my wife can't go nowhere unless I'm by her side, hugged up against her, unless she calls me every 5 minutes, check in. I'm like, I'll see you when you get home. Like, go outside. And we have that level of trust, you know? And because that's my perspective, I can't say that that's her perspective. So whoever people are in relationships with, you have to talk to that person and be like, you got to be on the same page about like what you want out of. And as a man, tell your woman, like, I know you don't need me, but need me, want me, love me, something, you know? And it's like, you know, if you did dinner the next night, don't worry, babe, I got it. You do dishes, don't worry, I got it. That's how our system is in our household. Like, if she do dishes, I'll do dishes. She do dishes, I'll do dishes. I'll take out the trash, she'll take out the trash. It's not like, man, will just take out the trash and you'll be responsible for this, and then she got to be responsible for all the bills, or she got to stay at home with kids. Like, a lot of that stuff is in the way. And to me, I think I like this. I call stuff for what it is, and I'm like, you're creating unnecessary poverty for yourself.
Yeah, you do say that.
I say that a lot, don't I? Because sometimes she tells me things, and I'm just like, I get why you would say that, but it's literally creating unnecessary poverty.
You mean like mental poverty?
I mean all of the above.
Mental, financial, emotional.
Oh,
Some of
like
the
you
stuff
trying to
isn't
pay
necessary.
everything, and you're like, bro, I have a whole man who like I don't.
Yeah,
have,
who
yeah,
could
Be-
kick in. Yeah.
right, yeah.
Yeah. You know, okay. This is something I had to like learn, but like, so you start dating like middle or high school or whatever, right? And at that time, it's about, oh, he's cute or she's cute. You know what I mean? Like it's about what they look like.
Mhm.
And it was, at least for me and what I've seen with my friends and stuff. And it was even like that through high school. But then, you know, you kind of start to figure yourself out. And I had to figure out like who I am and who I want to be. And then I need to go find somebody that complements that is the same in some ways, but also is the opposite, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't become just about the looks anymore, or just about what's in his bank account. Like, does he compliment me and make me better, right? Like, it's not and then I had to realize that it's not a competition either. It's not about, do I make more than Christian? Because I do. Like, and that's it.
She
and
can
that's,
compete though.
and that, not the point. But the point is that it's not about a competition though. It's like, okay, I've got a salary and he's got a salary, and how are we putting that together to create generational wealth for the family we're trying to create? Like Christian could have, I mean, it's a plus that you're cute, you're not ugly, but like Christian could be green, he could have 2 heads, COVID, whatever it is. But like at the end of the day, like what I love is his heart.
Mm-hmm.
And I love how he compliments me and makes me better than whoever that girl was that picked you up in Minneapolis and took you to the
in a
movie.
Chevy.
Whatever. Anyway, so it's just you compliment me and you make me better, and I'm out of the mindset of trying to be better than somebody else. You know what I mean? And so I don't know. I think I realized sooner that I wanted to marry Christian. I did, because I was waiting on you to propose.
You wanted to marry me first.
I knew sooner that I wanted to marry Christian, but you know, when you figured it out, hallelujah. But I think, yeah.
But and Darren, before I let you get in, you're right on that, on what you were saying, because it's not a competition, especially if you're in a relationship. You know, it's like, I don't need to one up her for any reason, and I feel I would hate if she felt that way too, because we're not single anymore. We're not doing things individually like we had to, and that's a growth. That's a moment of growth when you understand, like, this person is for me because they're for me. And when you realize that, then you definitely have the power. And it's vice versa. Everything Mari said, it has to be vice versa. I had to approach it the same exact way.
Yeah.
And there's a difference. Like, she's a woman, I'm a man. We handle situations differently. It's just a matter of talking about those things and challenging. Like, when you came from this angle, tell me more why you felt this way, versus like, oh, I can't mess with you because you don't agree with me.
Communication save relations.
Yep. That's powerful. What's on your mind?
Oh man, just
Processing.
yeah, you know, one of the biggest things that I think about is like, man, like I said, I study philosophy pretty heavily. Mm-hmm. So I've gone to some dark depths of philosophy, and I'm, you know, even up to, you know, biblical principles and all that good thing. So I understand the spectrum of human thought process and philosophy and psychology, and that I'm super interested in that stuff. So, you know, I plan on my tax bracket changing drastically within the next year or so. Mm-hmm. And so, I don't know, I'm in this phase right now where the women that I'm meeting, not to like talk down on them, but they're very low vibrational as far as when it comes down to like what I would view as a wife for me, you know? And not to toot my own horn, but I don't even think I'm ready to be a husband quite yet. But I think compared to my peers, I'm more husband material than most of my peers. And I'm just saying that out of self-awareness, not arrogance. Mm-hmm. So because Gabe would tell you on our last podcast, like I put in the work, you know, I actively seek my traumas, and, you know, and I try to attack them so that I can be what my future wife is going to need me to be. And what I'm experiencing is I'm meeting women who are infatuated by what they see when they meet me, and they have nothing to reciprocate with. And it's like, bro, I cook, like I'm an amateur chef, you know what I'm saying? I own a business, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm on my shit. And like I said, I say that out of just self-awareness, not arrogance. And so, because I used to be in a place where I was very insecure, in my articulance and my artistic ability and my leadership. And now I'm very confident. And it's like, nobody can shake that. And so when I'm meeting these women, bro, it's just like, I don't be impressed, bro, at all. And like I said, so that's why it's like, bro, and then I want to be with a Black woman, but I know that our Black women are so unaware of their traumas and they're not working on them. And for me, coming from where I come from, bro, I've done some drastic healing. And so I can't just date any Black woman because I'm from the hood. I'm from the gutter for real. You know what I'm saying? So like, I resonate with the most ratchet joints you could possibly think of, but I don't, because I've evolved past that phase of my life and living. I got one of the most ratchetest, traumatized mothers you can think of, and I love her to death, but it just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And so I almost have this like embedded fear, bro, of getting into relationships and marriage. One, because I've never had them shown to me. And so I do lean, I'm not going to say lean, but a natural thought of mine is white women have been through less trauma. They're easier to deal with. They're more submissive because they've had better relationship examples in their life. So maybe I should be with a white woman because, you know what I'm saying? Now, is that true? Yes. But does that mean I hate Black women? No, because I want a Black woman. It's just the reality of life. And so I'm stuck between these two parallels of like, you know, I would like to be that strong Black couple with a Black woman that I've helped heal, but I know I can't truly heal somebody. You can only heal yourself, you know? And so it's...
And I respectfully disagree. And part of the reason why is because I didn't realize, and I'm coming from like, we're like on the same page. Like,
yeah, it's on the outside, it's unbelievable how similar the two of you are. Just have to say that.
Yeah, it's like I'm like, this is definitely me and you. Like, I'm like, where have you been for the past 5 years? You know, these are some things we should talk about, but yeah, and then coming with like that whole self-awareness where it's like, it's not arrogance. I know my worth right now.
Absolutely.
You know, and I know I don't have to downplay my education, my experience, my skin color, my skin tone to meet somebody else's criteria. You know, we already have to do that within a workforce. So we shouldn't have to do that within our own relationships. And what I would say is like, it could be whoever, but this is why the sisters need you. Because what you have to offer to them is like a different way of approaching life. And that's why Mari and I are still together this long, because she makes me better in so many different ways. I wasn't always on this pro-Black thing myself. You know, this is something as I started to read more and listen to podcasts and do podcasts and stuff that I became more aware about. But it was like, yeah, the angle that I come with is not, it's not a bias. Like, every perspective I have is not biased, you know? And I think when it's an unbiased perspective, then you have this approach of saying that I know self. And when you know self, that's how, and this is why I want to say you're the key. Because when you know yourself, for the Black women who you say you can't resonate with because they're still trying to figure it out, they just may need that push, that belief. I'm going to share this story. And honey, I don't know if I share this story with you, but, and we shout out to our Fire Night family. We do a lot of stuff too. We have a Fire Night like every other Friday night where like Black families just come together and we're all just friends and stuff. So I was running to get ice for our Fire Night family. And Mari, I don't think you were there that night, but I went to the gas station. I'm always in a suit, so I got out of my car in a suit and I went to go buy some ice before I was for the party. And I heard this young Black woman say, "Oh, girl, he's cute." And I heard her. I was feeling myself. I was like, yeah, I got Mari at home, but I'm gonna take this compliment right now. I'm gonna feel myself just a little bit. Thanks for the validation. I didn't say that to her, but and then I heard her talk to her friend. Was like, girl, he probably like white women. You see the way he's dressed? You see his car? He like white women. And part of that is true. Because yes, growing up, I only wanted to date white women. Like that was a reality. So what I did was I put the ice in my car, closed my trunk, walked over to her and was like, I love sisters. And I said, you are beautiful. And her mouth just dropped. And I just left. I didn't stay, get her name or nothing. But that was my way of saying, look, I see you. you are beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Just how you are. If you were older, because I tell Mari this, I'm like, well, I don't tell her this, but I think about it all the time. I'm like, honestly, who's standing in front of me could have been anybody.
Yeah.
Like, literally could have been anybody. But because it's her, I'm comfortable and confident and love this woman. I'm like, yeah, you're going to be my wife in literally 10 days. So I'm like, I have that understanding of when it's somebody who could come at you the way you need, because that's what I see. You need somebody like her to challenge you. And that's what I'm saying. We're so similar, because I'm like, someone's out there. You just need somebody that's going to challenge that.
Mm-hmm.
And we are in completely different spaces than we were when we first met. You know, I got some schooling. She got higher schooling. Like, we both got, you know, higher paid jobs, and we moved out of the Twin Cities and lived in the Twin Cities and lived out. So I think all those experiences that we were having together with the communication made us both better in ways we couldn't imagine. And that's why I want to say growth is not a bad thing. Development is not a bad thing. And we need to see relationships as growth and development. It's professional development opportunities, or better yet, it's relationship development opportunities.
That's dope, man. And it's crazy you said that, because I literally agree and I resonate. That's why honestly, I haven't had a girlfriend in my life. I was a Division I college athlete. I was a manho most of my life. So I be on some player shit. I'm just keeping it real with you. I've been on some player shit most of my life. Mm-hmm. But around the age of 20, I stopped becoming a player and I became more so like a bachelor, you could say, where I was honest with women at best. So at least they knew what my intentions was up front. So I didn't, you know. But when it comes down to what you said, like, I'm very aware that whatever black woman I am with, or colored woman, whatever, you know what I'm saying, whatever woman I'm with, we're going to have to heal with each other, you know? And because I'm doing so much self-healing on my own, I almost feel like, why would I help heal you? And I'm doing all this shit on my damn self, you know what I'm saying? And this, you know what I'm saying? But, and like I said, it comes from my mother, bro. My mom is a very traumatized woman to this day, you know? My she's a dope mom, you know what I'm saying? She loves me to death, but I'm a grown man now and I see things for what it is.
It's not for the woman, though. Let me just interrupt, because
what do you mean?
The angle I was coming for you, that's for you. It has nothing to do with that, because we could have got together and we could have just been together. You know, we didn't have to grow and to develop. And that's what I'm saying. As you do it, sometimes you just need that counterpart to help you unlock your real self. So I'm saying, like, and part of the reason is because this chair is empty right here next to us.
Yeah.
You know, and because this chair is empty, I'm like, we don't know whoever would be sitting there would be thinking if they were with you.
Yeah.
We don't know their personalities, their characteristics.
Yeah.
We don't know their ethnicity. Like, we don't know. And because we don't know those things, all we have to go off is who you are and all the knowledge, wisdom, experience that you have with your relationships. And because when you do that and then you find that counterpart, you're going to learn the most about yourself. And that's why I say it's not about Mari. Like, I'm with her because I learned so much about me, and that ups my attraction for her and love for her. Like, wow, you know, what's left? What more do I need to learn about myself within this relationship?
I got a question.
You can call it selfish. A lot of people are going to say, is that selfish? I mean, is it?
I don't think it's selfish if both of you guys are benefiting in the same way. Honestly, like,
I don't think I can't speak for her, but I feel like I'm getting gold out of this. I just don't know how you feel.
She wanted to get married first, so I'm sure, you know, she feels the same way. You know, but honestly, like I said, I don't mean to put myself on a high horse, but I don't be feeling that way when I meet women. But I know that's my own trauma too, because I haven't even let a woman get close enough to me to show me those mirrors in myself, because I always leave. Like, I'll cut them off, and I can be very judgmental when it comes to this process, because there's so much trauma embedded in relationships with me and women. Like, I got mommy issues, you know what I'm saying? So
I was just gonna say you're from Baltimore. That's really what I was gonna say.
It's trauma.
I understand.
Yeah, it's trauma, and I understand. Like, it really is, and I think I am healing past it, you know. But I almost don't want to be in relationships because I haven't allowed myself. I'm 27 now, and it's like, bro, you kind of grown to be having experimental relationships now. So now it's almost like I was patient and diligent, and I was kind of tunnel vision on football and my NFL dreams and all that good stuff. And now it's like, you know, I'm beyond football. I'm an entrepreneur now. I have my podcast, and it's like, bro, you have no relationship skills besides the women that you was in situations with. But with commitment, you don't get that true growth. I've never truly been committed to a woman. And so that's kind of where, you know.
That's hard. Because this is the longest relationship I've been in. And I said that to Mario. I was like, I'd never been with anybody more than 2 years, like ever in life. And once we got past that 2-year mark, I was just like, oh shit. Like, how am I gonna, you know, be the best me? And
you embraced it though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but that's what I'm saying. You have the power to embrace. And because of everything you said, you know, you're getting to a point in your life where you're like, yeah, like you're doing podcasts, you're doing entrepreneurship businesses. What's the one thing you lack? Somebody to share it with.
Literally,
and
bro.
That's why I say you can't unlock your real self and your awesome self completely until you get that counterpart. That counterpart is going to challenge when needed. That's going to respect when needed. That's going to step back when needed, because that's also important.
Yeah.
You know, and it may be an independent black woman, maybe an independent white woman. Who knows? But what I'm saying is you have the power to leverage the relationship that you want to have. And because you're in a different place, you're stronger than ever to do so right now.
For sure, man. For sure. I think I'm open to it now. A lot of my female friends, they be trying to put me on or whatever, but I'm like, yeah, but that's why, like, right now I'm doing semen retention right now. I don't date, you know what I'm saying? I'm really locked in, bro. But like, I am receiving. I've let the universe know, God, whatever people believe in, you know what I'm saying? It's out there that I'm willing to receive. Because, bro, like that song, I'm a movement by myself, but I'm a force. Like, bro, it's so true. It's like, I know with the right woman, I will be such more of a force. But the women that I have been meeting, I don't feel like they can make me better. I feel needed, and I don't want to feel too needed, to be honest with you. I want to be wanted more than needed, because it could be trauma talking, or it could just be my independence talking. I don't need, bro. Like, I don't look at women as like, go cook me dinner. You know what I'm saying? I can cook better than most of the women that I know anyways. I'm trying to cook for you. What else do you have to offer this partnership besides the basic gender role stuff? Because to keep it a stack with you, most women lack the basic gender role stuff. It's what I'm telling you. Like, I have a cleaning company. I can clean. Like, I can clean. I can cook. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can rap. Like, it's, you know what I'm saying? I'm artistic. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so I just, bro, you know, I just want that substance to be reciprocated more than anything, bro. I be feeling like women be needing me. Like, it's like, if I'm not there, they're not as much of themselves. And it's like, I'm just giving, pouring, uplifting you. And it's like, what the hell do I get? You know? And that's the biggest thing, is reciprocation is what I have been lacking in the relationships that I've been coming across.
Yeah.
Besides the one, that one I told you about, she nice. She nice.
Mario, what do you think?
I'm just listening.
Okay.
I'm listening to the similarities between the two of you, and as I hear him talk, I'm like, ooh, I got a few people in mind that he should talk to. But
shit on my way. Hey, look, let me get my
but honestly, what's kind of ringing in my head is just what Christian said about self, and I feel like you have a really good understanding of who you want to be. And like Christian said, finding someone to complement, you know what I mean? And like, I mean, I kind of did the same thing. Like, I was with Christian, but I had not fully figured out who I wanted. I wouldn't even move in till I finished college. I was like, you're not going to fuck this up for me. Yeah. Like, I'm going to finish this and I'm going to get this degree.
She did do that.
And then we can tell, like, we'd been 2.5 years been together or something like that. And I was like, nope, it's got to wait.
Yeah.
7 or 8 more months till I finish this.
Right.
This is for me.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day.
Yep.
So, you know, once you figure that out, then you attract other people that are sure of themselves and that are ready to complement what you're putting out. You know what I mean? And so,
I think you're being tested, honestly. You know, that's what I'm saying.
might be
Because
a
And which
too.
you think? Do you think I'm being tested in like a patience way or tested in like a take the chance way?
do you have a problem with taking chances and patience? Because if you do, then both.
Patience, I'm great at taking chances because I'm so patient.
Mm-hmm.
And bro, I've let up. Like I said, there's only one woman in my past that I can really, really think like, bro, she is a wife. You know what I mean when you meet. Clearly, you know what I'm saying? Clearly. But you know what I mean, bro. When you come across them women and you're like, bro, she's a wifey.
Mm-hmm.
And I still passed up one. But one, she's white. We come from completely different backgrounds. And there's a whole bunch of other nuances in it. But yeah, I wonder if I'm too patient. Because I don't attract like toxic girls, bro. I don't. Like it's not like I attract the most ain't shit shorties ever. Like I don't. They're good women. You know what I'm saying? Like
They just need a little bit more support and encouragement. And that's why I was asking, you know, do you feel you're being tested? Because I'm like, if this is the consistent, you know, type of woman that's approaching you, this is your calling to work with these sisters.
oh, you're bro. And that's you know, it's
You
crazy.
don't want to accept that.
Yeah.
You know that.
Because you know, on the podcast that we just shot, we were talking about like the chakra system and you know our energies and everything. And one of my guys asked me what chakra system is blocked right now or most blocked, and I said it's my heart chakra, and it's because
Wow.
bro, in my last relationship where I was actually involved, like emotionally, I was the builder up role, and I kind of got tired of it. But that really may be my calling. Like because it may only take 3 years for me to help build my woman up to the place where she's confident in herself, and but now what she's giving me back now that I've helped her build is a wife. You know what I'm saying? That could very well be my challenge. It's like, can you get over your selfish, self-centered relationship orientation to help someone else build and help someone else get to a level of freedom and self-understanding. And now the love and patience you poured into them, they can pour back into you in a partnership. So that's a very, you know, good point that you made.
Well, I think the qualities you have, you're underestimating how quickly it could impact somebody. Because I just met you this morning, and I'm already impacted and inspired, and gonna
same.
exchange with you numbers, you know, after podcast. Because I'm like, I want to keep this going, not just from this, but entrepreneurial,
For sure.
you know, whatever the case may be. And we're East Coast brothers, so I'm with you on that. But what I'm saying is, you did that to me in less than 3 hours. Like, if you spend a day or 2 days with somebody, they're going to be like, whoa, this guy I'm dating is this, and that. He's somebody I can call my girlfriends about. But, girl, my man did this week.
See, but that's
Right.
when the
My
fear
girl
comes in.
Right. But hear me out. Girl, he did this week. I got to get my shit together. That's what they going to say. That's what they're going to do. Because they're like, oh, he out here shaking hands with this person. He's doing podcasts with this person, making connections here. We can share that together. But like when we go to those galas, I want to be at those galas. I took Mari to a few galas. We go to galas sometimes. We love gala season. It's bad for the pockets, but good for parents.
But back to what the mentality of like, he makes me want to be better and vice versa. You know what I mean? Like Christian, I mean, I had finished my bachelor's degree, and Christian,
No degree.
no, nothing. And was watching me go and was like, you know what, I'm going to go. And I had just gotten out of a relationship where I felt like I was building him, and I didn't want that. So if you're going to go, and I'm going to support you, but you're going to do that. And you know what I mean? And that's not even going to be about me. And now I'm almost done with the master's, and now he's almost done with the bachelor's, and like, you start with nothing. You know what I mean? But it's just like, but there were times where I was calling my friends like, oh my God, look at what he's doing. Like, I got to get my shit together. I thought I had I got to get my shit together.
Yeah, because my experience was out of this world. Like coming from the East Coast, I did a lot under a different administrations politically and stuff. And that I just came here with experience. Yeah. You know, that's what got me here, experience. And then I was like, someone who's going to come to more of a realistic approach could add to my experience that I already have. And then once we work on this together, we'll get to that point. So I'm going to tell you, Darren, stop ignoring your calling. We got to get ready to get out of here.
Yeah.
I love this conversation.
For sure. We gotta revisit for sure.
We definitely
part two.
Part two, and hopefully this
two.
chair isn't empty.
Yeah, I mean, I got co-hosts for days, bro. I got some guys, man. We can have some really dope conversations.
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely down. Guys, thank you for tuning in to the ADOS podcast. Today's episode was featured by relationships and my upcoming marriage. I'll be a husband in 10 days. So thank you all for the support and the congrats. And you know where to find us. Facebook at the ADOS podcast, YouTube, definitely YouTube at the ADOS podcast. Working on that Twitter for you guys. We're at Instagram at the ADOS podcast. You know, your favorite podcast in the world, the ADOS podcast. Thank you.